but she indicated to me
Anyways, can I talk? They're not going to be able to help. They're not going to be able to help with balance.
Ma'am, you want to know what? Don't try to overtalk me, because that will never happen.
That's fine.
Am I understood? You go down, check your attitude, and then I'll call your case back up. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Man, you about to piss me off. Come on.
Oh, don't give me that look.
Cedric Simpson.
Lee, get her out of my courtroom. Get her out of my courtroom.
A tense scene unfolded in court today as a tenant appeared before the judge over unpaid rent, more than $4,000 past due. Instead of approaching the situation with humility or cooperation, she arrived with visible frustration and an air of defiance. The atmosphere in the courtroom shifted quickly as her sharp tone and defensive body language became impossible to miss. The circumstances themselves are already difficult. Falling behind on rent is stressful enough, but the way she carried herself only added to the tension. It raised questions. Is this a matter of stress pushing someone to their breaking point, or a lack of willingness to accept responsibility? Either way, her attitude did little to help her standing before the court. Adding another layer to the moment, she even brought her child with her into the courtroom, who watched as the heated exchange played out. For many, that decision sparks concern. What kind of lesson is being passed down when courtroom conflict takes center stage? In situations like these, cooperation and respect often go a long way, but today, it seemed that frustration won out. Oh, what do you think? Is this behavior a result of learned habits, or simply a reaction to overwhelming pressure? Either way, it made for a memorable courtroom moment. Let's take a closer look.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. David Fantier on behalf of the plaintiff.
Your name?
Kia Fleming.
All right. Where are we on this case?
Ms. Fleming has a balance of $4,298.39. She indicates that she mailed the rental assistance form to the court on Wednesday.
She mailed it on Wednesday?
Yeah, I didn't know. I couldn't really hear you, but I thought you said mail it in, so I mailed it in.
Well, it needs to
proof
be at
that
the court by
that I filled out an SIR with my tracking number and everything. I mean, an SER.
I don't have it. So.
Well, I sent it in.
Your Honor, I'll leave it up to the court what the court wants to do. I don't think her balance is $4,298.39. She's been on rapid rehousing with SOS paying their portion. She's never made a payment to my client. And I reached out, and from what she has said, so I reached out to SOS to see if they were going to be able to help her with the balance. But she indicated to me.
Anyways, can I talk? They're not going to be able to help. They're not going to be able to help with balance.
Ma'am. Let him finish, and I will
He's
hear
rude. I don't like.
You want to know what?
Rude.
You don't try to overtalk me, because that will never happen.
That's fine.
Am I understood?
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to pass the matter. You go down, check your attitude, and then I'll call your case back up. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Man, you about to piss me off. Come on.
Keep back talking. You better take that out of here. Oh, don't give me that look. Lee, get her out of my courtroom. Get her out of my courtroom. Court will pass that matter. Court does call the case of YPF 16 LLC versus Nakia Turner.
Your Honor, I'll wait for it.
That just messes up my whole day. Everybody else is going to have a hard time with me now. You know, I was in a good mood, and then it's just going to take one person. It just takes one person and just messed up my whole attitude. You know? You know, people, if she don't act right, it's going to get bad. No, hey, I'm just telling you. I'm just giving fair warning.
Would you like your coffee, sir? So we can go get it for you right now.
No, I'm good.
Her current balance is $4,123.39. Court costs of $175 for a total of $4,298.39. She's been in rapid rehousing where SOS has been paying her portion and she's supposed to pay the rest. She has never made a payment. I reached out to SOS. They tried to reach out to her. And it's my understanding that the rapid rehousing ends at the end of July. So in August, she's going to be responsible for the whole thing herself. She hasn't filed a rental assistance form. I don't think there's a tribal issue of fact. We would ask the court for a judgment.
All right, ma'am, what did you wish to say?
Anyways, like I was saying, SOS was paying my rent for 3 months without me having to pay anything. Like I told Miss Terry through SOS that I ended up losing my job, and I wasn't able to pay nothing at the moment. And I'm just now getting a job, and I wasn't able to pay nothing until today. But yeah, and I sent in my SER through the mail. I didn't know I had to come and actually bring it here. I don't have a car, so anytime I go anywhere, I have to get on a bus with my children. So I don't know if you're able to, if they bring the mail to y'all, but I definitely sent the SER to this courtroom with the judge with your name on it, Cedric Simpson. But SOS doesn't stop. She said that I already filled the paperwork out yesterday when she came. They pay August, but after August, I won't be getting no more help from SOS. But I reached out to Hawk. They're able to help, and I did do an SCR with my caseworker, and I have an appointment with my caseworker on Monday for help, so I can get help with my rent. And I'm able to pay altogether $900 today, but that's all I can afford.
Well, if we get to August 1st, then August rent is going to kick in, which means you're not going to be able
No, August rent is paid by her, by SOS.
This hearing may have set a new standard for interruptions. The tenant repeatedly cut in while Judge Simpson was speaking, and you could see his reaction in real time. The slight pause, the deep breath, that moment every judge knows when someone has crossed the line again. What made it even more striking was that she didn't seem to recognize how disruptive she was being. Think about the situation. Months of unpaid rent, thousands of dollars in debt, and yet the approach in court was more combative than cooperative. At one point, she even expressed her frustration directly at the judge, saying he was making her upset. That kind of statement, especially while standing before the bench, is far from a winning legal strategy. At that moment, it became less about the eviction itself and more about a refusal to accept the authority of the court. To be fair, life challenges and financial struggles are real, and stress can push people to act out. But bringing that frustration into the courtroom only increases the risk of bigger consequences. Instead of improving her situation, the interruptions placed her at risk of being held in contempt, a charge that Judge Simpson could have justified if he wanted to. His decision to remain patient shows just how much restraint he brings to the bench. The real question now is, will she recognize the opportunity to correct her course, or continue down a path that only makes the case more difficult? Let's return to the hearing and see how much further this conflict goes.
I'm going to let you finish because I'm not going to be interrupted again.
I'm sorry.
So what else did you want to say?
That's all I had to say. That's what I said. It was already paid. August month is already paid. That's why she came over yesterday and I filled out the paperwork. So August month to be paid. After August, September, I won't be getting no help after August, is what I'm telling you.
If SOS pays in August what they paid in July, it would be $650 on a $1,300 apartment, which would mean she'd be responsible for the other $650.
That's not true.
But even without, let's assume that for the sake of argument that SOS is going to pay the whole thing, she still has a $4,200 balance. And I don't think there's any way that's going to be paid. And she hasn't filed the form, even though, the previous person heard you just fine last week when you said, we get it here within 5 days. If it wasn't here within 5 days, we'd ask for a judgment today.
I did turn it in within 5 days. You said turn it in Wednesday, which I did turn it in Wednesday. And who is he to say that I won't have all of it paid? Like, you don't know that. I didn't know I can get as much help as I did until I reached out to all these companies. And I was unemployed for a while, which I just got a job. I just started working 3 weeks ago. So this is my first check. You have to wait 2 weeks in a hole to even get your first check.
Your Honor, I'm willing to extend the judgment, normally be the 28th. If we were to extend the judgment to August 4th.
There's no tribal issue for this court in regard to this case. I'll grant a judgment court possession with the redemption amount of the $4,298.39 with the writ to issue August 4th, 2025. Thank you.
Can you tell me exactly what does that mean?
I just issued a judgment, the 429839 will need to be paid on or before August 4th of 2025. I've done it that way because if I grant an adjournment in this case, quite frankly, whatever the dispute is with the August rent
Mhm.
would be added on to this figure, which I was trying to say earlier.
Yeah.
So it's a benefit that if you can find the funds to get this paid, you only have to pay this amount. Does not include anything for August.
Okay.
Right?
Well,
So you have to the 4th to get it paid.
Yeah, but last thing I gotta say is that when I talked to my SOS worker, Miss Terry, our agreement was for her to pay the full amount because she know I'm not going to be able to pay the full amount. The money that I have now is going to be towards to the money I already owe. So August is already going to be paid. Like the full amount is going to be paid, so I won't have to worry about August.
Maybe you're not hearing me.
I'm hearing what you said.
The judgment. I'm not dealing with August.
I know that. I'm just let you know for sure that's going to be paid. That's all. But thank you. Have a nice one.
Thank you.
Jesus.
Won't stop.
Nope, doesn't work.
Just don't understand the assignment.
Real Properties versus Jason Mitchell.
Joe Lloyd, Your Honor, I am going to be appearing on behalf of Mr. Mitchell.
See, now, let me just explain something. Everybody in the courtroom has now been saved because Mr. Lloyd is a calming influence on me. I just want you all to know that. That's right.
This courtroom exchange might have broken the record for interruptions. Time and again, the tenant cut across Judge Simpson's words, and his reaction said it all. The measured pause, the quiet inhale, that look every judge wears when patience is wearing thin. What stood out most was that she seemed completely unaware of how far out of line she was drifting. Consider the circumstances. She's behind on rent by thousands of dollars, yet her courtroom presence leaned more toward confrontation than cooperation. At one point, she even turned her frustration directly on the judge, claiming he was upsetting her. That kind of statement, especially in front of the bench, is rarely a wise move. In that moment, the focus shifted from the overdue rent to a deeper issue, her unwillingness to respect the authority of the court. Of course, it's important to acknowledge that financial struggles and personal stress can weigh heavily on anyone. But carrying that frustration into the courtroom is a gamble that usually backfires. Every sharp interruption raised the risk of a contempt charge, and Judge Simpson would have been fully within his rights to issue one. Yet, instead of escalating matters, he chose patience, demonstrating remarkable restraint under pressure. And that's what makes this case so fascinating, the crossroads it represents. Will she take the chance to adjust her attitude and work with the process, or will she continue pushing boundaries until the consequences become unavoidable? Either way, this hearing is a clear reminder that how you act in court can sometimes matter just as much as the case itself.